Good day, everyone. Jency Molo and I, Kyla Galera, will continue the discussion about the political self and being Filipino. Now, we will start discussing about the weaknesses of the Filipino character. Number one is extreme personalism. Filipinos sometimes mix personal feelings with work or responsibilities. They may choose people they know instead of those who are more qualified. For example, gihire sa boss ang iyang friend bisag na ay lain aplikante nga mas maayo pa niyang magtrabaho. The second example is gisulod sa maestra ang iyang pag-umangkon nga estudyante sa honor list bisag poor ang iyang performance. The second one is extreme family-centeredness. Family is very important, but sometimes too important that it affects fairness in society. For example, the same families keep running for government positions, so only their family stays in power. Or, gihatag sa business owner ang tanan importante nga posisyon sa iyang family members, even if they're not qualified. The third one is we have the lack of discipline. Some Filipinos start things with excitement but don't finish them. We call this ningas kogon. For example, sayo ka nag-start sa imuhang project pero nag-undang rapog ka pagkaugma. Then, many also arrive late on purpose. We call this Filipino time. For example, arriving 30 minutes late to meetings because Filipino time. The fourth one is we have the positivity and lack of initiative. Many Filipinos wait for someone else, usually leaders, to solve problems instead of taking actions. For example, sige reklamo ang mga tao nga traffic, pero sige gihapon sila park bisag asa or dili sila mag-follow sa road rules. Or, students wait for their group leader to do all the work instead of helping. Fifth is we have colonial mentality. Some Filipinos think foreign products or cultures are better than local ones. For example, mas pilion nila ang imported nga brands bisag na apoy local brands nga tsada. Six is we have the kanya-kanya syndrome. People focus on themselves instead of the community. This leads to crab mentality, pulling others down so they won't get ahead. For example, ang isa ka coworker kay nag-spread og lies about someone nga successful. Or, neighbors don't help each other and only think about what benefits them. Seventh, lack of self-analysis and self-reflection. Filipinos often avoid reflecting on mistakes. They prefer fun over thinking deeply about their actions. For example, a student keeps failing quizzes but never reviews their notes. They just say, lisod gyud kayo, instead of changing how they study. Or, a friend keeps losing friendships because of their attitude but never reflects. They insist, ingani namang yug ko, instead of trying to improve. The last one is mañana habit. Mañana is a Spanish word that means tomorrow. And mañana also sounds like mayana or in Tagalog, later. This is the habit of delaying or postponing tasks. For example, ay hara ka maghimo sa assignment kung ugma na ang deadline. Or, sige kag ingon nga, I'll clean the house tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes.
Prediction of Filipino character, meaning na unity pero na po individualism like iya. It has a good character and a negative characteristic of a Filipino. For example, like na balhin na balay ang mga silingan, magtinabangay sila to lift that house and what it is called bayanihan, and that's a good characteristic of a Filipino. While it has a negative characteristic is individualism, is mura kani-kanya syndrome kung naay ayuda magunahanay hinoon like kanya-kanya bitaw. Bahala na ng uban if dili makadawat. But I can add more. A good character, also a Filipino, is being a hospitality. It is known for being respectful for elders, but also it has a negative characteristic, which is ang crab mentality, which is ginahila ni imong mga kapwa Pilipino paubos.
The next topic we have is characteristics, misconceptions, and their true meanings. First is we have bahala na. Ang atuang pagtuo sa bahala na is to give up or leaving everything to fate. But it is actually means being brave and doing your best even when the situation is uncertain. For example, some of us says, bahala na, maapil ko ang competition bisag wala ko'y practice. Pero dapat ang atuang maingon is, bahala na, I'll join and try my best even if I might lose. The second one is hiya. Ang atuang pagtuo is feeling ashamed or embarrassed or kanang ulaw. But it is actually means having a sense of responsibility and knowing what is right and proper. For example, ang atuang pagtuo sa hiya is maingon ka nga, dili ko mangutana well nagklase si ma'am kay maulaw ko. But it actually means, dili na ako disturbohon ang laso ni ma'am, pero magpataas ko kung nako'y pangutana. The third one is utang na loob. Ang atoang pagtuo sa utang na loob is you owe someone and must always repay them. But it is actually means a deep sense of gratitude and willingness to return kindness. Like for example, ang atoang pagtuo sa utang na loob is doing favors endlessly even when it hurts you. But the true meaning is helping someone who helped you because you genuinely appreciate them. The fourth one is pakikipagkapwa. Ang atuang pagtuo is just going along with others to fit in. But it actually means treating everyone as humans who deserve respect and kindness. For example, ang atuang pagtuo sa pakikipagkapwa is pakikisama or muagree ka sa imuhang friends maski sayop sila. But the true meaning of pakikipagkapwa is helping a stranger because you see them as your equal. Fifth is bayanihan. Some of us believe that bayanihan is magtabang ta without expecting anything in return. But it actually means a community working together in unity and cooperation. For example, I helped rebuild my neighbor's house after a typhoon with everyone in the community. That's what we call a bayanihan. Magtinabanga tanan. Sixth is kapwa. Ang atuang pagtuo sa kapwa is others or kanang naatay gitawag nga kapwa-tao. But it actually means shared self. We are connected to one another. For example, feeling happy when a member of your family succeeds because their happiness is also your happiness. Seventh is pakikiramdam. Ang atuang pagtuo is being too sensitive, but it actually means being understanding and aware of how others feel. For example, napansin nimo nga hilom ang imuhang friend, tas gipangutanan dayon nimo siya kung okay ra ba siya. Eighth is malasakit. Ang atuang pagtuo is just sympathy or kaluoy lang, but it actually means truly caring and taking action to help others. For example, gitabangan nimo ang imuhang classmate kay naglisod siya sa iyahang assignment. The ninth one is kahit anong gawin. Ang atuang pagtuo is maghimo lang tag bisag unsa without thinking the consequences. But it actually means staying strong and persistent even when things are hard. For example, kipadayon gihapon nimo ang imong studies bisag lisod ang kinabuhi kay dili ka gusto mo give up. The 10th one is pagmamano. Naay ubang nagtuo nga it is a formal or traditional gesture lang. But it actually means a heartfelt sign of respect and gratitude to elders. For example, you take your lola's or lola's hand and say, "Amin ko," because you honor them, not just because it's tradition. 11th is tiwala. In misconception, it is trusting blindly, but it actually means trust built through experience, honesty, and consistency. For example, nag-share kag secret sa imong friend nga na-prove na nimo nga masaligan sila. The 12th one is salamat. In misconception, it is just a simple thank you, but it actually means deep appreciation for someone's effort or kindness. For example, saying salamat because you appreciate what the person did. The 13th one is bilog ang mundo. Sa atoang pagtuo, ang bilog ng mundo is life just repeats itself. But it is actually means life moves in cycles and balance is important. For example, accepting failure because things will improve later. The last one we have is hugot. Ang atoang pagtuo sa hugot is just sadness or emotional drama. But it actually means deep feelings and reflections coming from real life experiences. For example, some of us may think that hugot is just for jokes or memes, but it actually means sharing feelings about personal struggles to understand yourself better, or expressing lessons learned from family or friendships struggles.
Next is sense of patriotism and national pride. Meaning, you need to show the love for your country. For example, ako, proud ko nga Pinoy. Ginapakita na ko akong support and love sa akong country through buying local products made in our country. Next is sense of common good, meaning ang kayuhan sa tanan dili lang para sa kagalingon. For example is na event ang inyong barangay hall like coastal cleanup, like imo ra bitaw on free will maskin kabalo ka nga sa pagbuhat nimo ana, in the end wala kay madawat or sweldo. But mas gipili nimo nga motabang kay nakita nimo na in the end is makapayo na sa tanan. Next is sense of integrity and accountability, meaning from the word integrity is being honest and doing the right thing even when no one is watching, while accountability means taking responsibility for actions and decisions. For example, is nakita ni Zach ang kwarta sa dalan, iyang gihatod sa barangay hall or police station kay wala siya kabalo kisay tagiya. So, from that action, it very fits both integrity and accountability in him, which is makita rasad sa iyang action nga gibuhat. Next is discipline and hard work. They both serve as a guide to get our personal goal and dreams, meaning pagpaningkamot and focus for the good outcomes. Is it, for example, si Mary is magtuon kada gabi ijod kay she knows nga all her hard work and determinations would pay off someday. Next is self-reflection and analysis. And the last one, meaning you see yourself and reflect and para ma-improve ang kaugalingon through analysis. Example, we know some of us is bagsak sa midterm. So in that scenario is ginuhuna na nato na ang bagsak is so bagsak ko. So magtuon jud kog tarong so that in the final term is makapasar ko. And then here it comes the analysis. So gina-review na to ang exam kung asa ta nasayop and we change for the better, like mas improve pa nato ang pag-study so puhon ginita mabagsak.
By cultivating these traits, we can contribute meaningfully to our country, uphold moral values, and foster a sense of unity and progress for future generations. And that's all. Thank you for listening.